So my name is Claire Higman. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I work with children and adults, but I've worked very closely with children over the last several years of my career. One thing that I'm really passionate about working with is anxiety in children. It's definitely an issue that we're seeing come up more often with children and teens these days. So anxiety is a normal part of life that is experienced by everyone, even children and teens. Anxiety can come from a huge range of stressors like relationships with families or peers, school or work-related issues, life changes like changing schools, moving, birth of a sibling, divorce, going off to college, and of course day-to-day activities and tasks. Children and teens are facing an increased level of stress these days, in part due to our higher level of exposure to world news, more pressure to fit in through the addition of social media to our lives, and intensified academic pressure. Typically, anxiety is short-lived and leads to positive problem-solving behavior, but anxiety becomes unhelpful when it is about a number of things, is very frequent, and is difficult to control or dismiss. How do you know when your child or teen is experiencing too much anxiety? They may be experiencing too much anxiety if they suffer from worry that is so frequent or so severe that it seriously impacts the quality of their life. Sometimes anxiety can be easy to identify in youth, like when your child or teen is feeling nervous before a test at school or a big performance. You may notice them tapping their feet, pacing, sweating, thinking about the situation nonstop, or having difficulty sleeping. Other times, anxiety can show up as an upset stomach, disruptive or angry behavior, ADHD, or even a learning disorder. Anxiety can lock up the brain, making school very hard for anxious youth. There are many forms of anxiety that children and teens can struggle with, such as separation anxiety, selective mutism, specific phobias or fears, social anxiety, generalized anxiety, obsessive-compulsive disorder or OCD. As a caretaker, you may notice symptoms of anxiety at home, such as difficulty sitting still, clinginess, like not being able to sleep alone or separate from the caregiver, nightmares, most often about something bad happening to a caregiver, aggressiveness or tantrums, avoiding or melting down in social situations, school refusal, especially after a school break. Also, while your child is at school, you may receive reports from your teacher stating that your child is having trouble answering questions in class, displaying disruptive behavior like tantrums or asking repetitive questions, taking frequent trips to the nurse for headaches, stomach aches, or even vomiting, falling behind in a certain subject or not turning in homework, and avoiding group work or other social situations like sitting with peers at lunch. If you are thinking, that is my child, I encourage you to reach out for additional support. There really is real healing, and I'd love to help you.